Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to welcome Andrea Abraham. Welcome, Andrea.
Hi, you guys. Sarah, Julie, thanks for having me.
We are so excited to talk with you on the podcast this time. So, for those that don't know, why don't you tell them a little bit about your company, Woosh Beauty, and just kind of give a little spiel about that?
Yeah, so I started about a decade ago, which seems crazy to say, a little beauty business called Woosh that was founded on kind of streamlining and simplifying your beauty routine. I was always like a beauty fanatic. I collected products. I tried them. I like, that phase in your life when you have like, 2 hours to get ready to go out at night. And it's like, that's a huge part of your life. I loved that. And so I was like, very fortunate to be able to critique and buy and, compare these things against each other and talk to my friends about it. It just, I don't know, it just was a curiosity of mine. So that continued for a while, and I got to a phase in life, I think, where that wasn't like really feasible anymore to, spend an hour and a half, 2 hours in front of the mirror getting ready. I had different priorities. I had children or was thinking about having children, and it was a different phase of life. And I wondered selfishly why nobody put your whole makeup routine in one place. As a woman, you have all these disparate items and you have this big old bag with all these different, plastic thingies in there, and they all look kind of similar, and you're digging around trying to find everything, and we're always in a rush because we have a million things to do on our plates. So that's kind of where the fold out face, our hero product, was born out of a selfish desire to have it easier solution all at your fingertips, kind of like you open one thing. Well, yeah. I have it right here. You open one thing and you have your whole makeup routine at your fingertips, kind of complexion to color, we like to say. So that was a huge piece of it. And then another huge piece of it was for all the women in my life who would always come up and ask me, what should I buy? Just tell me the things I need. And it was always this, kind of hodgepodge list of things that I liked. It's like, maybe there's something from CVS and like one thing from Sephora, and it's just all of these disparate things because there's so many amazing things out there, and it's fun and exciting to try them. But at the end of the day, a lot of women just want a go-to solution every morning that they can put on and feel great about themselves and walk out the door and focus on whatever else they want to do. That was such a long-winded answer. I'm so sorry.
But I love the long-winded answer, plus a little demonstration of your product.
Yes, which I used today.
Same.
It looks wonderful. Did you find it easy? Like, what do you think? I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback.
Yeah, no, I think it's easy. I am the non-makeup, but we're makeup person. And even like I brought it to Vancouver because everything is, just kind of right there. And it's quick and easy. And I am someone who reacts to a lot of things, and I haven't reacted to anything. So that's been amazing too.
Love that. Yeah. That's so great. Yay.
That's good. No, and I love it. And my 15-year-old daughter loves it too. I love how everything is just very clearly marked out, including the brushes. Like this brush is for that and this, and it comes with the directions. So I think your mission has been accomplished. Like it's a nice, simple way, especially for people that I'm a busy mom.
Right.
I love makeup. I used to do some freelancing and such for different companies, and so that was a passion of mine in my dream. But I feel like, you lose a lot of that when that becomes, there's no reason to put on a full face of makeup when you're just crawling around the floor with your kids, right? So to have that and it's all there, and then you're kind of like, there's no excuse now. I can do a quick face because it's right here and it's laid out.
Totally.
I think what a fun idea you had, and it's fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys are using it and enjoying it and like and different coming from different sort of
Yeah.
makeup level
Yeah.
Yeah.
experience backgrounds. Like that is exactly who I want to love Whoosh. Like you encompass like both of our who I hope to be our clientele. Julie, for, you to be like, I don't know. I just want to like kind of be told what to do. That was the intention with kind of pairing the brushes with the palette. And I have the case here. I have kind of the brushes set in here. So there's 4 brushes and they're double ended. So you can kind of flip back and forth and go fast. So everything I tried to be so thoughtful about kind of speed because like
Mhm.
who has time really, and like it's just the commodity that we're all trying to like maintain and preserve, and like if I could give a mom 2 minutes back to her day, like that feels like a win. um as well as to help women, Julie, like you, who are like, I don't really know, like, just tell me what to get, where I need to put it, to kind of number the brushes and like put an instructional together. It was my way of being like, how could I almost put myself, who's not a trained makeup artist either, like I'm self-taught
Mhm.
and I loved it. And then I guess I'm just very passionate about making things easier because I always feel like there's got to be an easier way. So wanting to put instructionals together that really walk you through kind of like, yeah, use this brush, this end, use it in this product and put it here on your face. So it's kind of like, me being in there in your bathroom with you, holding your hand a little bit, being like, you can do it. So you don't feel left out of the makeup experience because it's overwhelming. It's like it's so many products. It's
Yeah.
just like so chaotic out there. Even for those of us, Sarah, like even for those of us who love it, sometimes I'm like, okay, like enough. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
like it is.
Like,
It's fun and exciting, but it's
yeah,
it's
I
a
had this
lot.
conversation with my daughter too, where I said, makeup and skincare is fun, but like you don't need almost any of it, especially, as a teenager. But like you'll find a couple of things that work for you or that, are
Mhm.
purposeful, and then that's it. You don't need all this other
Yep.
extra stuff. Like they're just trying to sell it to you.
Right.
So I think it's really lovely that it's kind of pared down and simplified for everybody. I love that my daughter is using it because it's helping her learn, simpler techniques, and yeah,
I love that too. I love there's like so many ways to kind of talk about the fold out face. So sometimes it's like hard to market it almost because there's so many different ways to go about it. But one way that I love, and I have boys, I have 2 boys. I don't have daughters, but I have a lot of nieces. And so I tell my sister and sister-in-laws, I'm like, use the fold out face to kind of like teach them how to do this so
yeah,
that they have sort of a good baseline, so they don't walk down the stairs one day after having hung out with their friend or like watching a YouTube video or whatever with some crazy like raccoon eyes that like you don't want to shame them for and make them feel self-conscious about, but like, you wanted them to do better than that. So
right,
like
right.
empower them with this tool that like really gives you just a good sort of basic look to kind of help them walk through those steps. Oh, good. I'm so Sarah. I'm so glad that you're
Oh,
just
good.
I love it
intuited
as
that with
someone
your
who is a
daughter.
professional that and works with a whole bunch of amazing professional women. But we are, because of the profession we're in, we work in the healthcare industry on our day-to-day basis. We are not makeup wearers for a whole wide variety of reasons. But then when we need to do something, we need to actually look professional. And so I like that it does kind of just the basics that you'd want for just a very natural look, but then you can quickly go into a professional look, and that's important for me. And so many women out there walk in those same similar shoes.
Totally. You're like doing your thing during the day and then you have to scoot to something else at night. You have to go to, yeah, a
Or
professional event
yep,
and
you have
you're
to
like, yeah,
present.
I've
Right in your bag. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, sometimes it's like I
yeah.
need to get on this Zoom at noon to teach, but I'm going to be teaching. So you right, no, so it's going to be going to the college or whatever. So you need a
Right.
professional look, And so I just think there's a lot of women that walk that line of where are you at and how do you move quickly into a professional, appropriate look. And so this is easy.
Yeah, easily, exactly. And like, yes, I'm holding it up to just show. It's
And
like,
can go into
it
your
does
bag, which is
fit.
not a purse. We're all carrying bags, you know.
I know, yeah,
Right, right. You
exactly.
got two water bottles and
Right, let's not pretend they're little dainty purses. I know. My poor like cute little purses that don't get very much use. I'm like always lugging a big old tote with like
right.
all my stuff, my fold out face
And then it
always.
goes right in there. Fits right in.
It fits right in, and then I always have what I need on hand.
Right.
Okay, so I want to talk about you use the word empowering, like
Yeah.
empowering women and stuff, and I really, I think that's very fitting. So, how do you think that your brand and this new collaboration you have, or you're sponsoring some events for Hallmark? So, tell us a little bit about how that happened, and maybe how that's going to translate into empowering like these fans that you might meet.
Yeah, that is a great question. We are so, so excited to be partnering with Hallmark. We think their sort of fan base, and you guys included in that, are going to hopefully be such a great sort of, not target, that feels like a bad word, but such a great audience for Woosh. And there's so much harmonious sort of crossover between the two. And I think with Hallmark, it's just, they are so much about just the happy ending and spreading love and happiness and just like kind of a sense of like peace and calmness in a way. It's like, you kind of, what the ending's going to be. There might be some bumps along the road, but it's going to end up happy. I think for me, Whoosh is something I'm hope brings women out there like you guys a moment of peace similarly in a chaotic space, in a chaotic world with so much on our plates and shoulders. Like I kind of want, like, sometimes we say like whoosh, like it's the sound of easy makeup,
Yeah.
but sometimes to me it kind of like sounds like a sigh of relief a little bit, because it's like it's taken care of. It's like it's not a stressful situation doing your makeup. It feels like a moment of zen, like a moment to you. You don't have to focus on what you're doing. It's intuitive. You can have that sort of peace. So I don't know, maybe that's a stretch, but for me, when, we started talking with Hallmark and exploring, this partnership, that's sort of like what I felt, and just sort of the undercurrent and the vibes and everything that they do. It just felt so intertwined with what I would love to bring with Whoosh in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. I actually think the collaboration feels like the perfect fit, right?
Huh.
So when attendees are at these events, you're going to be on the Hallmark Christmas cruise and then a couple of weekends for the Hallmark Christmas Experience. What can
Yes.
they look forward to when they see you at this event?
Hopefully just a really fun experience. We're going to be on the cruise to spread sort of the magic of Whoosh, and have products to touch and feel. And there's a few classes that I'll kind of be teaching on the ship. We'll just me and my team will be hanging out, and hopefully we're just bringing the energy and giving little 5-minute makeovers if you want to come swing by. So we're just going to be hanging out and hopefully making a lot of friends along the way.
Okay, so you mentioned the classes on the cruise. Will that
Yeah,
be somewhat interactive, or is it something where they'll just come and you'll just kind of, teach them about
it's a
your
great
know-how?
question. We're still kind of developing them. What would you recommend? I always love interactive myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not a lecturer. Like, I don't know. Maybe you can tell just based on how much I've been talking so far. It's like
I,
but I like a vibe.
I
Yes.
would do makeovers on somebody, but talk live while you're doing it and allow people to ask questions. So the mix of teach
Totally.
and interactive.
Perfect. That's kind of what I was imagining in my mind. So yeah, we got a little time to figure it out yet, but man, it's coming up fast.
I
Real
feel like it's
fast.
very fast. And
I
then you
know.
mentioned maybe like the little 5 minute makeovers. Will that be in Kansas City as well, or is that just a cruise thing?
Also, great question. We're so focused. We're such a small team.
Yeah.
We're such a small team, and we're like, we're working so hard to make, this partnership all it can be and show the absolute best Woosh has to offer. So we're so focused on the cruise now since it's first.
Yep.
But my team and me for at least one weekend will be in Kansas City as well. And we've all been doing this for so long that we're always happy to, slap some makeup on people, color match. We're very hands on. Again, very small team. So we love to talk about, we're so proud of our product. We love to talk about it, love to, expound on all of its beautiful features and give makeup touch-ups and demos and all the good things along the way.
Yeah, so maybe after you're off the cruise, you'll be able to kind of fully develop Kansas City, like what
Exactly.
works,
Focus in.
what might work, might be different that you need to do.
Yeah.
So you'll
Exactly. We
be
might have some learnings.
yeah.
Yeah. What do
Absolutely.
you guys think I need to know about the cruise? You've been
We have
before.
We've
not been on
been
the
to the cruise.
cruise.
Wait, you haven't?
No, we've
No,
been to
we've been to
Hallmark
Kansas
Christmas
City.
Experience.
Okay. Tracy. Tracy lied.
I hear it's a lot of fun and that there's a lot of people.
I mean, the
Um,
whole boat will be completely Hallmark fans and the talent. That's all that's going to be on the boat. So it
Yep.
sounds amazing.
It's going to be so great. We can't wait. So, Christmas experience, then, what do I need to know about that? Like, what do you expect from vendors at the Christmas experience? Or what would you love to see from vendors?
So I would like to see like accessibility. There were not vendors last year, so we're excited to see that move forward. Also, I think people will really want to know how to find you. So
Okay.
we could certainly help publicize that too.
Thank you. We'd love that.
Um,
yeah, I really want you to be able to be in a spot where people can walk by and say hello or see product. I don't know if you'll be selling it
Same.
there or not, but at least like to see it and to hold the palettes and look at how it's all laid out with the directions. I think that's a great way, but also somewhere maybe that they don't have to seek you out so much because then it'll
Right.
a more
right.
That'd be great. Fingers crossed.
yeah. I mean,
We get
last
good
year
placement.
everybody was so wonderful and everybody is looking to start conversations and just be friendly with each other. So,
For sure.
I think,
That's the vibe I've gotten
Yeah.
from minute one, working with Hallmark, and I'm so happy and grateful for it. Because part of work for me is like I'm so passionate about, supporting and helping women and by bringing Woosh to them, but I want it to also like be fun and enjoyable, and I want to love and and have fun doing what I'm doing and with who I'm doing it with and the people I partner with. And so it's been a lovely experience.
You know, one thing you should know is that the people who are attending these events are there because they want to be and they're excited to be there and they're there. It's their break or their escape. So
Yeah.
I think that coming to visit you is a great fit to go with that break and escape.
Good. I'm so excited to see and meet everybody. I hadn't realized this was the first year with vendors. So I'm curious then, because one thing we've been talking about internally is what do you think, or you guys as sort of consumers, what would you expect to show up and what would you be wanting to buy at the Christmas experience, do you think? Like, would
Oh,
you be shopping for gifts? Do you think you'd be shopping for yourself?
how
I
about
feel like a little bit of both
yeah,
because
Both?
it is
all
Christmas
of the
and there is
above?
a Christmas market outside. But to get to the Christmas market, you have to leave. So like we never made it there last year. Um,
I mean, we
so
ran
there
around
were
a little bit. It was
yeah,
pouring rain. I
pouring
assume
rain.
that's not where you'll be.
Yeah, I don't think so. But
Yeah.
I think yeah, maybe a little bit of everything. Like I feel like glosses are a great kind of grab and
Yes.
go type of thing before you go get your photo taken. Maybe you might want a little gloss or
Stocking
and I think
stuffer.
color matching too might be a nice thing because that's always so hard to do, especially if you're not really familiar with like your skin tone or
Totally.
that
Totally. And
line is
that is a big barrier online for sure. So with our fold out face, we have 6 shades. I held up one, but in each palette too, you have 2 shades of your concealer and 2 shades of your foundation powder. So you actually have like a little bit of flexibility
right.
within each palette, which does make it, it's still intimidating to buy makeup online. It just is. Like you want to see it, you want to touch it, you want to put it on your skin even if it's on your hand, and not on your cheek.
Right.
But you do have that little built-in flexibility that may give, a little more courage to take the leap online and know you might weigh, heavier on one end or the other. But being there in person and, being able to shade match people easily and give the confidence, I think will be really helpful for us.
Yeah, or even just seeing it in
Yeah.
real life sometimes that's helpful. But I think
Yeah.
that the Hallmark fans that are there, they love a good, love story and transformation story, and they love these connections that they're making. So I think you all being there and just being able to connect with you kind of just fits the brand, and it'll make an
Oh,
impact
that's awesome.
for them. But so okay, so you talked a little bit about the sound that you sometimes hear when you're saying whoosh. Is that like is that the story behind the name, or
It
did it
is.
come from something else?
It just felt evocative of just sort of like, whoosh, you're done. So I think I kind of joke and like to tell this story to my sons, especially because I think it's funny. Um, if I would have maybe practiced saying it a little bit more back when I was naming the company, I would have thought differently, perhaps, because it turns out when you say Woosh Beauty a lot, it's a lot of vowels, and something about that makes you want to say booty. And so I
I
do it
love
all
it.
the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's like embarrassing. And of course, I have like a 10 and 7-year-old boy. So, they think anything having to do with butts
Of
is
course.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It
Um,
is.
it kind of is objectively funny, but it's like I do it all the time. So
Mm.
I'm like, man, I wish I would have maybe practiced that a little bit more in hindsight. But yes, it just felt evocative of kind of whoosh, you're done. Because like I said, the fold out face was our first product. It was the original idea, kind of the cornerstone of the brand. I didn't mention it's refillable as well, so you can pop in there and open the door and
Yeah.
refill any individual item that you run out of or need to. Or for those, like you, Sarah, you might be inclined to want to try some other shades.
Right.
And, you might want to go online and get a few refills and, kind of curate your own palette or your own, summer versus winter, who knows? Like,
Right.
there's creativity available within the refillable palette, but the 6 palettes are just curated by skin tone, and you can just buy it straight up. So you basically buy one thing and you can get your whole face minus mascara and lip gloss.
Right. Right.
Right, but the case holds those so nicely.
It does. It,
Yes, and they all fit so well in there.
it all fits in there, which is lovely. Um, I love your unique name as a couple of gals who have a unique name also. Because
Love it.
Suspenders
Yes.
Unbuttoned is your normal everyday name also.
Yeah.
But it makes you stick out and people remember it. And so I think it's wonderful. You're talking about people being able to replace when they've used out of their palette and they can fold it out. Can you do a custom? Can you make your own custom?
Yes. So we are. It it might be going live this week, but we are just about to launch a custom palette builder on our website, wooshbeauty.com. So you'll be able to come on and kind of select whether you want to start with sort of a base of one of the palettes. So they're just numbered 1 through 5, and then we have a palette 2.5. So we launched with 5, and then we added an additional. So it's kind of funny. So you can select kind of starting with one of those, and then you could trade out certain items from that if you liked, or you could start blank and completely build your own palette. So I'm really excited about it. Bear with us. It's been a big lift, a huge build for us. And if there are any kinks and bugs, write us, let us know. But I'm so excited about it. I've been selfishly, again, wanting this for a long time. I think, like you guys demonstrated, there are kind of two consumers, and I think one could ultimately convert to the other if we do our job right and we're teaching, how to use these products and kind of piquing people's interest. Julie, you could be like, I buy the number 2 straight up, and that's all I do for
I'd already like to
2 years.
customize mine, so
And did you say you already like to?
I already know what I would customize to, yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Oh no, just because it's like everyone has unique colorings. I'm fair, but I actually have golden undertones to my skin, which is my dad had very olive skin, even though it doesn't. So I have a weird undertone, so it gives me I don't fall into that classic pale palette always. So it sounds a little weird, but anyways.
No, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, no, I'd like to switch out a couple of more things.
So you already have ideas.
I do. Because I do like the ability to be able to transport that, because I do literally it's and now I need to teach, and it's going to be Zoomed, and it's going to be recorded, and it's going to be, now I have to take my mask off and put something on. Yep.
Put something on.
Yeah. So, no, I bet that will do very well.
I hope so. I'm so excited. A little.
Okay, I want to ask you about your little triangle stamp brush.
The corner brush.
The corner brush.
Okay, good. I put it
because I think it's really cool.
A few things I prepared. Thank you.
Did you?
Well, you'll only find
what made you think of that?
So, I just knew, I don't know, based on life and talking to a lot of women, and just my own tendencies and habits, we tend to skip doing our eyes a lot. Or women who are overwhelmed by makeup, running short on time, anything. That's the first thing to go. Maybe you'll do some mascara, maybe, but there's not going to be any eyeshadow, liner, anything that's really happening. And maybe it's just me, but I just feel like if you get that little bit of definition on the outer corners of your eyes, it just completes your whole look and brings everything together. So I started thinking what could help women feel more confident that they can kind of get their eye makeup done in a fast amount of time, in a sort of repeatable pattern that they can do and replicate and move through. So the corner brush was my solution to that. So it's a patented brush. You'll only find it with Woosh. It's this funny little V shape. And what I like to do, I don't like to use pencil eyeliners. I like to use eyeshadow as eyeliner. I think it's softer. I think you can add some depth and dimension with pencil liners if you want to, but shadows just soften everything. It looks a little bit more youthful. So I like to dip this in shadow, whatever your shadow shade is of choice. And then you have 2 options. You can do both, one or the other, or neither. Maybe you're the corner brush sucks. But you can keep your eye open and stamp, kind of using, you can hug the outer corner of your eye and stamp it, so you leave that mark that kind of hugs the outer corner. You can dip again with the angled side. I flipped around to the other end. And then you just pull in for a little, a little soft liner. And you just have that instant little kind of frame of your face. So that's the liner way to use this brush. It also can be used as a guide to getting your quick smoky eye. So you can close your eyelid and kind of line it up with where your lashes end on the outer corner and stamp. I should have loaded it up so I could show you, but you stamp and it gives you the little guide shape. Again, you can flip around, kind of blend that down and then blend that end in, and it gives you just like a really quick little bit of definition, that you're using your own eye as a guide, so you're so much more likely to get even on both sides, and it just gives you that, like, hopefully that little bit of extra confidence to be like, okay, we can do this, we can do it quick, we can do it even, and like my look feels put together.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, I watched the video. My daughter is very into makeup and has done teaching videos and a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like,
awesome.
This is a fun technique. And she was like, it's fast.
Awesome. That's honestly the best compliment I could ever get. Like, I'm just always looking to make things faster. I'm like, how can we make this faster? How can we make it easier? How can we make it do 3 things instead of just 1? There's so much beauty out there, and there's so much everything out there, but the beauty space is very saturated. So Woosh I'm not really interested in, just having another product just because it's trendy, or, because, we think it's pretty or cool. Like, I really wanted to serve a purpose in a woman's life. If I'm sitting here being like, it's worth your money, I really, like, it needs to be worth your money, and it needs to be, kind of take over 3 things or 4 things or maybe even more that are already in, your cabinet that you don't have to worry about anymore.
Yeah, I love it. Do you have a favorite tip or trick that you like to teach?
Great question. I think the eye detailer kind of tip is one of my favorites. And kind of softening with shadow rather than a pencil liner. That's a big one that I spout a lot. This isn't really like a general makeup tip, but I use, obviously, the fold out face every day. I literally couldn't live without it anymore, and I'm not just saying that. But in it we have these 2 blush shades, so a pink and a peach. I always, like, I have like a little routine for how I use it. So I always, this isn't our blush brush, but I always dab 3 in the peach, and then I dab 1 in the pink, and then I dab 1 in the peach again, and then I do my blush. And I think it's just like the perfect amount of everything. It's what I have on my cheeks right now. It's like you have some of the shimmer from the peach, you have like a little bit of the depth from the pink, and it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's the perfect blush for me. So that's one I think is just kind of funny that has adapted. I didn't realize I was doing it for a long time. And I don't know, one day it dawned on me. I was like, I always do that. Always, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1.
Yeah, I love that though, because that's another way that shows how you can adapt the one palette to a lot of different, you can mix and match and
totally. You can use, the brown eyeshadow and or the dark contour to fill in your brows. You can, a zillion things. I sometimes I like to use the shimmer as an eyeshadow when I feel like, I want a little extra glitter. So a zillion things you can do with these like 13 products in here, all at your fingertips.
When you're customizing it gives you a lot of range because like you're essentially doing a 4-to-1 mix there, and you're gonna have a different color if you do it, even, and or you could flip it
Yeah.
the other way. You're gonna have more of a pink look to it. It's something that gives you a lot of range depending on your look, and
Yeah.
just out of 2 colors. So it's a good choice. But even like you have that for your blenders and your concealers, and you can essentially custom your colors between that range.
Yeah, there's so much versatility within, each individual palette. Because I don't know, no, I'm a normal person. I have 2 kids, like I said, like no 2 days the same. It's like you go away for the weekend to the beach, and you come back, and like you don't have to go to the store and get a different shade of powder because you like forgot to put sunscreen on, or whatever. It's like you want some flexibility, you want some range within what you're working with. And again, selfishly, it's kind of what I demanded and what I wanted, and was like
Right.
what would make my life easier, and that was it.
Do you often get that feedback from your customers? Like, do you get the feedback like you've made my life easier, or maybe tell us something that's really stuck with you and kind of kept you on
Yeah,
the path?
I think, yes, for sure. We get a lot, nah, not to toot our horn, but we get like really, really nice reviews on our website that are like, it's like really make my day. Like I get a kind of recap of all of the reviews from the previous week on Monday mornings in my email. And I love reading that first thing Monday morning. Like I don't know if they set it up that way to be like, here's hopefully some good news to like start your week, but that's what it feels like for me reading through those reviews every now and then. Of course, not everything's sunshine and roses, but one of my favorite things I think that I love popping up in there is when people say they bought the palette for a trip, or they bought it for something
That's
very specific, which totally makes sense because it is great for travel. Like it makes total sense. If you're trying to pare down for something, you might find that as a solution. But then they say it was so easy and so great, and they love it so much now they use it every day. Like that's the biggest compliment to me. Like they bought it with a total different intention in mind, and it exceeded their expectations in a way that now it's a part of their daily routine because it made that much of a difference. So that I love.
yeah,
That's what keeps me going.
that's wonderful. Um, so when you are at these fan events and you're going to start connecting with all these people, what do you hope they walk away from the events after they've come to meet you or see your products?
I just hope they feel like happy and settled and empowered in the fact that like they can do whatever they want as far as it comes to makeup. I want I It's so tricky when you're talking about beauty because it can become such a superficial thing so fast, but it's such a deeper, such more emotional thing to me about how we feel as women, in ourselves and in our bodies. And I do think if we feel confident about what we see in the mirror that morning before we go out the door, our day could be so drastically different than if like we don't even look in the mirror, we like didn't take the time to do this or that, or we avoid, shuffle right by and pretend like we don't care. Like I think it matters so much on a level that can alter your life, really. And I don't mean that maybe sounded dramatic.
No, I think what you're saying is relatable. Like when you feel confident about yourself, you present yourself in a much different way out in the world, and you the way you interact with people, even just like it can affect your mood. Oh, who do you have there?
Uh-huh. Basil. Basil, come here. You want to come say hi? Come here, Watchy.
We love a good pet drop by,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, good. I knew she was
Oh,
gonna
well,
bomb us at some point. Come here. You want a treat? Come here. You want a treat? Come here. Come say hi to my friends.
She can come say hi.
Yeah, here she is. Here's Basil.
Oh,
She got a
Basil?
she got a treat.
yeah,
So
she did. What's her name? Hazel?
Basil,
Basil.
like the herb.
Yeah.
Yes,
She's
my
a
basil is doing
cavapoo.
very well this year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my
Good.
basil looks amazing still.
Yeah, I've got a.
I had like broccoli bloom. Doesn't broccoli bloom early usually or grow early or is it later?
Um,
Somebody told me it was early, but I have a huge head of
Spring.
broccoli that just
Yeah,
popped up and I was like,
I've never
that
been able
feels
to get
late.
that.
I don't know.
I hadn't either. It came out of nowhere. I
I'm
thought all the
harvesting
bunnies and stuff.
raspberries again too, so I don't know. It's
Wild. It must be this like, unseasonably warm
yeah, we're
warm
on like
weather.
summer number 3 here. It's like
I know.
87 or something here, and I'm in Minnesota. So
I know. It's nuts.
okay, well, what a sweetie that came to visit you.
Oh.
Okay, so Andrea, would you like to play our game that we play with everybody on the podcast?
Absolutely. I always love to play a game.
It's a fake game. It's a game of favorites. You can give more than one answer.
Okay,
Um,
good.
do
I'm
you
really
have?
bad at favorites. I'll just tell you
I
now.
feel like most people are. But
It's really
what is your
hard.
favorite movie?
Ooh. Okay, well, my like feel good movie,
Yeah.
if I'm ever just like kind of down in the dumps and I want to put something on, is Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's just, I don't know why exactly. I love Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
She's a fellow Michigander. I get told I look like her a lot.
Yeah.
It was just a
I
complete
did.
compliment.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so funny. I love Jason Segel too. So that is my go-to if I am feeling blue or just like feeling angsty sometimes. I'll just
Right.
put that on the background and that's like my go-to.
I
I
love
love that.
that.
We've never had that answer, but it is a good one. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, do you have some that pop up frequently?
Sure. Sure.
Yes. A lot of
Yeah.
times, like a lot of like Braveheart or like, you know,
The
especially
Sure.
Godfather. You're gonna get some of those
yeah, The
classics.
Godfather. Yeah.
Okay, yes, that makes sense.
You know,
That makes
especially from
sense.
a lot of like actors or directors, there's going to be like something that
Like,
pushed them forward to want to do that, and it's going to be these things are iconic for a reason, right? Right.
absolutely,
Right,
absolutely. Yeah. So you've never had Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
But we get lots of rom-coms, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
Yeah.
yeah.
right,
No,
right,
very.
just nobody said that one. But I recently saw that again, and I'm like, yeah, this was a great movie.
It's a great movie. It's
Right.
just feel good, good laugh, good like belly laughs.
Yeah,
I love that.
exactly.
Do you have a favorite TV series or something you're currently binging?
Oh, I don't have ever the time to binge. I wish I could. I did just
Right.
say the other day, I wish I could just go into bed for a day and watch something. Um, I just started watching. I'm gonna have to look it up on my phone. It's with the girl who was in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's on. Well, I watched it on Hulu. I don't know that it's actually on Hulu.
Right.
It's called High Potential,
Oh.
and she has like it's like a 3-letter like disorder disease where she's basically like a savant and like had been kind of cleaning up a police department and ends up solving a murder. I used to love I watched all the CSIs.
Yeah.
I used to watch all of the crime scene, everything, Criminal Minds,
Yeah.
all of it. So this one has like the kind of romantic comedy side
Right.
that I enjoy now with like a little bit of the crime scene esque without all the like kind of drama and gore. It's like you get a touch, but it's not overbearing. I feel like once I had kids, I just kind of lost a taste for
All the
just
crime
all of
stuff.
kind of yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
I get a taste of it, but it's really fun. I totally recommend it if you guys want. I think husbands would like it. I do, but it is a good just watch by yourself one if you're
Okay.
looking for a good new show.
I love that. That sounds actually really good.
I know.
Good. It's super fun, and I really like her. I think she's very funny actress. I don't even know her name, but I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it if you watch it. And then another like feel good go-to show is always Friends for me.
Of
You
course.
know, like
Yeah.
like I owned the series on DVD, like that huge box set, you
Yes.
know. It was like with me wherever I went
Yeah.
until we didn't need to carry those things anymore. Um, but Friends is like, you know, that
Yeah.
was that was my era.
Yeah,
Love,
for sure.
love
I remember driving to my friend's house. She lived like 40 minutes away, but like Thursday night was Friends night.
Yep.
So we would drive to
That's
each
what
other's
she did.
houses to watch Friends. Yeah. So you
So
had to do.
good.
Okay, so when you are not busy, running a company and being a mom, do you have a favorite hobby?
Okay. I did join the sourdough journey.
Okay.
Way after, like, it was cool. So
Right.
I will fully admit and acknowledge that. Like, when everyone was doing it during COVID, I was like, I don't know, just trying to stay alive and keep my head above water, to like homeschooling my preschooler. It's
Yeah.
like, this is absurd. But anyways, um, I got into it this new year in January. My sister-in-law gave me some of her starter. So I didn't start it from scratch.
Yep.
So I will also, caveat that I'm not a true sourdougher.
I think you are, because you're supposed to share. That makes it
Yeah.
right.
It was so nice, and I will say I've kept my starter alive. Almost all year. I've had some very successful bakes. I've baked a lot of bread, and most of it's been pretty good. I've had some real stinkers in there, because I'm trying to not be too particular about it. It's hard because I want to be,
Hmm.
but it's just like it's too many things. And again, yeah, going back to like business and boys and
Right.
single mommy and all those things. It's like sometimes it stays in the oven with the light on to proof faster for way longer than it should have, and like it half bakes it, and so like things happen and whatever, and I'm trying not to be too anal about it. But has kind of been like my hobby through this year, which is kind of fun because previously I would say I don't know that I have a hobby. It would be like reading 2 pages at night before I fall asleep, maybe. Taking a walk and listening to an audiobook.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
Sure.
I count
counts
that.
as a
Yeah.
hobby. Okay,
Absolutely.
that would probably be my secondary. I think
What do you
those
like
would
to
be.
listen to?
Oh, it depends. But I love, you guys, don't judge me, but I love some smut.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes you
I
just
mean,
need
we
an
both we
escape
both
and
listen. Yep.
run out there.
I do, and then pray that when I get in the car in the morning to drive my boys to school, that my phone
CarPlay.
doesn't connect and start like playing. Oh, I do have a really funny story about that. If it's tangential, we
No,
don't
let's
need to
hear
go
it now.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, I just started this new book. Like I knew very little about it. It was called, this is probably embarrassing to say out loud, whatever. The Butcher and the Blackbird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Really, you
I
read it?
ended up
I have
yes,
not,
well, I
but
ended up
Not yet.
listening to all of them. But I'm like at drop off line, and on my car on the screen it's showing, Butcher and the Blackbird. And one of my boys' teachers, like, was kind of poking her head through the window talking to me, and then she looks over and she's like, "Oh, are you reading Butcher and the Blackbird?" And I was like, well, I just started it. I was like, I'm literally like 5 minutes in. I was like, seems good so far. I don't know. And she's like, I've heard it. I like can't wait to, check it out from the library. She had just had a baby. She was like, I heard it's, good smut. And I was like, it seems to be. So like 2 weeks go by. I've like almost finished, listening to this book, and I just can't stop thinking about Miss Heather, who is like, who goes to read this book and like imagines me pulling away from drop off line, like hit and play, and like driving away. So I had to confront her. I was like, okay, Heather. I was like, I liked it. I listened to it. I super enjoyed it. I don't know if you've listened to it yet or not, but I just needed to acknowledge the fact that I know it's like dirty and nuts, and like dirty and like both like raunchy, like gory, and like,
Right.
the usual
Yep.
brunch, so I felt like I needed to address it, and she just cracked up, and it was like so funny, and we had a total moment about it, but it was like eating me up for a couple days where I was like, I need to
Not
say
listening to it with my
something.
kids.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
exactly.
say,
I'm like, I
so many
know, and
people,
I
you need an escape. So many people need an escape, and you have an escape. And so does probably the teacher needs an escape also.
she does, and that's what Hallmark fills too. And
Right,
like,
Yeah.
exactly.
I need to fill more voids with Hallmark. I think a lot of people I talk to, they're like, oh yeah, obviously during the holidays, it's just on in the
Mhm.
background, um, and I feel like I have to hide that. I live with boys. I
Well,
live with boys.
that's how I started, honestly, mostly how I started watching Hallmarks because I homeschool my two boys. My daughter is at school, but
Okay.
um I when I'm cooking or cleaning, I always like to have something on, but you can't watch anything in front of them because they pick up the language, they start to pick up storylines, like you can't have anything violent on. So really that's kind of how I got really sucked into the Hallmark Channel because
Hallmark.
I can put it on in front of them and I don't need to worry about it.
That is
Um,
really nice. Your boys must be nice. I feel like mine would
well,
just yell at me and be like, what is this?
oh, they all make fun of
Ew.
me. Yeah, everybody in my house, yes. But that's okay. But
It's
like you said,
okay.
we all need little escapes. So
Me too.
you don't ask me what's in my
Absolutely.
Audible. That's all.
I know. I just buried all my dirty laundry, and like once I did the Butcher and the Blackbird, my Audible started recommending all kinds of stuff.
That's
So
correct.
we've made some journeys.
That is correct. Well, you have great hobbies, loving your hobbies. And then our final question is music. Do you have a favorite song or a favorite singer, favorite band?
I am a Swiftie, I will say.
Yeah.
I do love Taylor. I think I I will be the first to say I'm not a music person. Like I love music, but I don't generally think I'm not the first one to think to put it on
Hmm.
usually because I don't usually like know what to put on or where to go. I know so many songs and all of the lyrics, but I don't ever know who sings it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't know. I just like experience music as it like happens around me, I think, and it's not something I generally seek out.
Right.
So Taylor Swift is like one thing that's like she has a new album come out.
In
I will
days, it's
probably
coming out
just
in
listen
days.
to that. I
Yeah.
know it's so soon.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be too happy though.
Well,
Is anyone else worried about that?
I
You
don't
think it
know.
might be too
No,
happy?
I like her happy stuff.
Oh, I kind of like her sad stuff. Maybe I'll like her happy stuff now because
She'll
I'm like
probably have a mix,
I'm
maybe
happy.
actually. You know,
Say what?
she might have a mix because she always has a strong statement to say too. So I could see
That's
a
true.
mix in there for sure. Her personal life is happy, but she's got some strong statements to make. So I could see a
Yes, and
mix. So
she has a lot of depth, I
yeah.
think. So that's a good point.
Do
There's
you
Do you
probably
have
going
a
to be some.
favorite song of hers?
Hmm. It
Or like a
depends. Music
go-to one?
also so depends on my
Mhm.
mood.
Yep.
Um, but I love Bejeweled by her. That's
Mm.
like kind of my like secret pump up song
Yeah,
sometimes when I just,
yeah.
if I just feel like I need a little oomph,
It's a great
that would probably be one
song.
I would go to.
I don't know if that needs to be a secret. I mean, like that's a
Yeah,
great
not
pump up
secret.
song. Honestly.
It's a good one. Okay,
It's a
Andrea,
great
tell
one.
everybody where to follow you on social media.
Okay, so I am kind of old, so I'm really only on Instagram and Facebook. You can find me, Andrea Abraham, on Instagram, and I think that's how you find people just by their normal names on Facebook. I don't even know you guys.
Right.
Do you guys do Facebook still?
Only for like my relatives
Right.
far away. Yeah.
I mean, we have a
Oh,
Facebook group.
it's still there, but nothing really happens on
Yeah.
it. Instagram is like really where to find me. That's
Right.
where everything happens, if it
So they
if
can
it
follow
happens.
you and then they can also follow
Follow
Woosh.
Woosh Beauty.
Right.
Yeah, Woosh Beauty on Instagram, wooshbeauty.com. Um, we're pretty easy to find.
That's what
Woosh
I was looking
Beauty,
for.
not booty.
Not Woosh.
That,
That's the new slogan.
that's what I was looking
I know.
for. Whoosh wooshbeauty.com, right?
Wooshbeauty.com.
We'll say that
got
clearly, the dictation on point.
Perfect.
Podcast title is Woosh Beauty, not beauty. I mean,
Not booty.
Woosh Beauty,
not
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 booty.
booty. I love that. I'm down for that.
Perfect. And then everybody can find you too on the Hallmark Christmas Cruise if they are going in November.
Yes. Please
And
come
then-
say hi if you're coming on the cruise. I'd love to see and chat and meet every single one of you. So, yes.
And do you know which weekends you'll be in Kansas City for
The
the Christmas?
second and third weekends.
Okay. So we'll definitely see you on the third weekend.
Yay!
And
Okay,
we will
I can't wait to
send
give you
people.
guys hugs.
We will
Yes,
send
definitely.
people to you also. So
We
Hey,
will.
please send them our way. We'll take good care of them.
that's
For
awesome.
sure. Well, thank you for joining us today. It was really fun to chat with you and learn a little bit more about your products and your mission and, how we can find you at these Hallmark events. And thank you everybody for watching or listening. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.